I have interviewed so many people, both investors, business people, and natives to the area, and they all say the same reason why Northwest Arkansas is actually on the map and is not the reason you expect it to be. So today, let's talk about that. Hey everybody! If you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. Actually, I was a real estate broker located in Chicago many moons ago, decided to leave the dumpster fire, the burning hellscape that is known as Chicagoland, and escape to a better place in America. I looked all across America, went to a bunch of places you might be looking at right now, but I chose Northwest Arkansas because it is by far the best place to live in America. So when you're looking to move down here, call me, text me, let's meet up. We'll talk about all the reasons why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America. Also, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. It's literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? All the things you want to know about Northwest Arkansas. 72 pages plus another itineraries plus all the stickers, all the stuff, all the things packaged, shipped right to your home. Right to your home. Enter your name, enter your address below. I'll make sure you get the package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. All right, so I've interviewed so many people about the reason why Northwest Arkansas really even started. Because almost 10 years ago, this place really wasn't anything. And there's one piece of, we'll say, building that changed everything. So 10 years ago, of course, we still had Tyson, we still had Walmart, we still had JB Hunt, all the different things. But there was one thing that really changed the actual trajectory of everything. It's not the biking trails, it's not whatever you're putting into, it's actually Crystal Bridges. So if you weren't aware, Crystal Bridges is actually a large art museum located in Bentonville, Arkansas. And so it's actually the brainchild of Alice Walton, who is a daughter of Sam Walton. And she definitely plays in more of the art scene in general. And so she started having her own personal collection of art over the course of years, we're talking decades, and decided to basically put her personal art collection in Crystal Bridges. So one of the interesting things about Crystal Bridges is that it's completely free. There is no admission. They get some crazy artwork there, all the way from the Constitution to Beeple to we have the Frank Lloyd Wright House to things passed through all the time. And so the interesting thing about Crystal Bridges, this is actually new to me before I moved. I was not aware of I knew of Crystal Bridges, I knew it was a museum, but it wasn't until I moved here, talked to a lot of people that are passing through, went to New York City, talked to people, went to Los Angeles. I just got back from New York City and I was telling people, I live in Bentonville, Arkansas. And just these are natives to New York City. And they're like, oh, that's where Crystal Bridges is. I'm like, yes, that is where Crystal Bridges is. And I went to Los Angeles. I tell people where I'm from. Like, oh, that's Crystal Bridges. Everywhere I go and I talk about Bentonville, it's either two things. Either it's gonna be mountain biking if I'm kind of in the sports scene, or if it's not in that, people know about Crystal Bridges. Crystal Bridges is what started everything here in Northwest Arkansas, and we're going to talk about some of those reasons, kind of why, what it means, and how much money is actually being poured into it, and the expansion that's currently happening in there that's almost going to double the space there, which means it's going to be a whole other round of expensive art being pushed into Crystal Bridges. And the second part of this is actually some of the drama pertaining to Crystal Bridges itself. Now, what's interesting is that no one really quite sure how much money has actually been put into Crystal Bridges. When it was actually built, it was $800 million gifted by the Walton Foundation, and then it was all of Alice Walton's personal stuff. Plus, that's pre-2011. So it's estimated several billions with a B, of dollars are currently sitting in worth of Crystal Bridges itself. That's part of the drama of why Crystal Bridges was actually kind of put on itself on the map. Plus, kind of got some interesting publicity. So whenever Alice Walton started buying up art back in 2008, 2009, 2010, anticipating the building of Crystal Bridges, people that in the art world were freaking out because she's buying these very expensive pieces and special pieces from New York, Pennsylvania, France, and all across the world. And she's bringing them because people ask, what are you gonna do with these pieces of art? She's like, we're bringing them to Arkansas. What? People started freaking out in the art world that Alice Walton, who is part of the richest family in the world, and I think at the time was like maybe the 9th richest person in the world or something along those lines. She was well up there. Anyways, she's buying all this art, bringing it down to a no-name state that no one really gives a rip about, especially 10 years ago. And she's doing what now? Building this Crystal Bridges thing. So in the art world, there's a lot of talk behind the scenes of like why you could go to all the articles with, whether we're Wall Street Journal or the New Yorker or this or whatever the case is, and like big name articles are asking like they're giving good articles saying why is Alice Walton doing this, and it wasn't as like top tier like why is she doing this, but behind the scenes there was so much drama of why Alice Walton was doing this, knowing she's going to do this, but Arkansas of all places, there was so much drama for about 3 years as she bought up hundreds of millions of dollars worth of art to then bring back to Arkansas. So this publicity part is that it made publicity because it was like, what is she doing? And at the same time, it created drama because like, what is she doing and where is she doing it? That was the interesting part of it all when it comes to the drama side. Hey, before I jump on to the next point, I made something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin, way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is. It's literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms. Where do you want to move to North Arkansas? Give me all that information below. I'll make sure to miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northeast Arkansas. Also, every single Friday, I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northeast Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on down to Fayetteville? When is First Fridays? When is First Thursdays? When are the farmers markets? Who's playing Warmer Amphitheater? What's going on in downtown Rogers? When is Bike Blues Barbecue? When is... So much going on all the time. That's why I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northeast Arkansas. So enter your name, enter your email below. I send an email every single Friday, but sadly, just be warned, just be aware. You will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northeast Arkansas. Now, with all that being said, a couple $1 billion worth of art located in Crystal Bridges, we need to talk briefly about the expansion of Crystal Bridges. Currently, there's about 200,000 square feet of art in Crystal Bridges. They're actually not doubling it, but they're adding 50% to it. So it's going to be actually 300,000 square feet of artwork to there. So the expansion is going to just, again, showcase the importance that Crystal Bridges has to Alice Walton and the Walton Foundation and everyone involved there, because they're putting more and more money into it and getting more art, of course. And so the expansion is just going to solidify again what Crystal Bridges is to Northeast Arkansas. And then on top of that, it's going to again put NWA on the map again with the expansion, with the art that she's going to be purchasing, I'm guessing very soon, because in 2025 it's going to open. She has to be buying art here in the next probably 2 or 3 years or so. And so she's obviously going to be bringing that, or she has her own stuff. I'm not sure what she's going to be doing. I haven't called her for a month or so. So she is obviously going to be putting art inside the Crystal Bridge itself and purchasing art. So it's going to make headlines again here pretty shortly, with at least in the art world, of this expansion of what she's going to be buying and putting in there. But the difference this time is that people know what she's doing. Crystal Bridges has a name for itself, and it's well known within the art community. So it's more of a fun thing, an interesting thing, and cool thing versus like a what are you doing thing. It is interesting to think what a decade can do and what someone has a dream and a vision can do, and really change the whole aspect of something, like bringing art to Arkansas and then making it actually to an art hub versus just some podunk area in the middle of the Central America or Central North America, essentially. And so super interesting how you can change that culture. Money always doesn't solve that problem. You can't just throw money at things. It's a very intentional, purposeful, deliberate thing over the course of a decade. And then you really start seeing the changes happen. So I find it very fascinating. So obviously with the expansion, we know this can be happening. What does this mean for Northeast Arkansas? That's the big question. Okay, maybe you're moving here, maybe you're currently here. Cool, awesome, love it. Make sure you download my itineraries to stop at Crystal Bridges. It's free. But the last part of all this is what does this mean for Northeast Arkansas? And that's the interesting part, is that, again, anyone who's lived here for a period of time, anyone who looks at Northeast Arkansas, the starting point of all of this was Crystal Bridges. Now, you could argue that mountain biking is the capital, of course, the capital of the world, is a huge draw for things, for tourism. We have so many restaurants now. We have so many things going on. We have pathways. We have, obviously whitewater rafting now. We have so many different things. We have rock climbing things being built. Anyways, I say all that to say Crystal Bridges was kind of the starting point, and now it's going to even grow even more. And so it's something to say where you can have this interesting dynamic where you can have an amazing multi-billion-dollar art facility next to a multi-$100 million, we're talking mountain biking place. They're all interconnected right there. Some of the Slaughter Pen, All-American, all those major trails right there in the castle. It's all right there. It's all connected. And on top of that, we have Bella Vista. We have hundreds of miles of trails beyond Bentonville. But it's so interesting to see that woven together where you can both, obviously do hardcore sports in mountain biking, and then at the same time go into hardcore art and see with some of the most expensive, fascinating art in the world, all for free in Bentonville, Arkansas. So it's just going to signal again to the cultural world, to the art world, that what Bentonville is. It's not just a one-trick pony where all we can do is mountain biking, or all we can do is art, or all we can do is whatever. It is a multicultural, multi-diverse diamond, so to speak, that caters to a lot of people that are moving here, obviously. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary, link below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids. Whatever it is, there's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you. So go ahead and download it and use it when you get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you a $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar would go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.